Hello everyone, welcome to DeMars Coaching. My name is David, and this video today is about borderline and Munchausen syndrome, the link between the two. This video was sparked by a viewer, George from Germany, who asked about this link in my weekly question and answer video, so I decided to make an entire video about it today. Before I get started, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, vote on the video up or down, please, and share with someone else. Thank you very much. So, the link between borderline personality disorder and Munchausen syndrome. Munchausen syndrome is an old term. It's been changed now to factitious disorder. Factitious disorder. There are some very famous cases of Munchausen. Also Munchausen by proxy, where somebody does it to another person. But Munchausen, now called factitious disorder, onto oneself. And then there's onto another. Famous cases, Gypsy Blanchard. I think a lot of you actually know who this is. Just a horribly sad case of a mother who kept her daughter sick. A young girl who she somehow tricked and fooled doctors to have countless surgeries by faking syndromes, stuff like this, faking symptoms. And this poor little girl had surgery after surgery after surgery. The mother got tons of attention, tons of money from this, donations from all over the town, and then found out that she was just abusing her daughter. There's another famous case that has not been, as far as I know, has not been labeled as factitious disorder, but there's someone called Tanya Head. Tanya Head, T-A-N-I-A, Head, H-E-A-D. This is a woman who, all you have to do is type in the name, or you can type in women who faked 9/11. So the horrible 9/11, the day on September 2001, September 11th, 2001, when buildings were attacked. And she was downtown in New York, but was not in the buildings. And she claimed, after it happened, she claimed she was in the building. She claimed that her, I think it was a husband or a fiance, I believe fiance, was working in the building and died. She simply just found a victim's name that passed in 9/11. She said that was my fiance. She got all kinds of attention. She started an organization, something to help with the recovery of 9/11, and she became the head of it. I don't think she started it. She just became the head of it, just lying the whole time. And she was found out as a liar. I think that has a lot to do with this, possibly. Interesting case if you want to go watch a story on YouTube. The proxy on another would be a child or an elder person they're taking care of, maybe, or someone disabled they're watching for. So it's a mental health disorder where you falsify, exaggerate, or induce physical, emotional, or cognitive disorders. Also known as hospital bed jumpers or hospital hobos, in and out of hospitals. Borderline personality disorder is a mental disorder characterized by the instability of mood, behavior, and functioning. And there's a definite link to this. So I'm going to get into the causes of fictitious disorder, tell you a few and some symptoms. The exact cause is unknown. It could be genetic, environmental, social factors, the three parts that really make up who we all are. Social stress could be hereditary, could be abnormalities in the brain, childhood abuse, childhood stress. Symptoms are a distorted self-image. Now I'm talking about factitious disorder or Munchausen, not borderline. Distorted self-image, feelings of isolation, boredom, emptiness, mood swings, suicidal thoughts, delusion, loss of interest in routine activities. Very important here, okay? Here's some more symptoms of fictitious disorder. Exaggeration of symptoms, faking symptoms, inconsistencies in the symptoms reported, dramatic presence of symptoms only while being observed. A consciousness of it, right? Willingness and eagerness to have diagnostic tests or other procedures. Long medical records of multiple admissions to different hospitals. Reluctance by the patient to allow interaction of doctors with family members. Can't let the two talk, right? Having vast knowledge of the diseases one claims to have. Very important. Self-harm, for example, by injecting oneself with bacteria or gasoline. Tampering diagnostic results by heating a thermometer. It's funny, that reminds me of Ferris Bueller's Day Off. For those of you who haven't seen that movie, it's kind of old. It's a good one with Matthew Broderick. And he wants to stay home from school, so he fakes that he's sick. And that was what he did. He heated up the thermometer. Pretty funny. Not saying he had Munchausen. Knowledge of anything that has to do with medical. Very common. They could be nurses. Very common. Or in that field, or they want to be. And they'll have vast knowledge of symptoms and medical procedures and treatments. Medical talk, I call it. Overload others with medical information. Here's what my problem is. Here's what it is. Here's what causes it. Here's all the Latin terms even, right? Big words, big names, all these horrible things. And look at all this. Purposefully infecting wounds. Now they'll go to the hospital. They'll get a shot or something's wrong. They have an injury or something. They go to the hospital. They get it treated. They go home and they open the wound and get it infected. And now they have to go back to the hospital and the doctor can't figure out what's going on. Rejecting family. Accusations of the family. Isolation. They may do this for money, to pay for their living and attention. Causes of fictitious disorder. Exact cause unknown, but attributed to psychological factors. Here's some risk factors. Depression, low self-esteem, child abuse, history of illness that required hospitalization, personality disorders, desire to be a healthcare professional, loss of a loved one, but they have massive work and relationship problems. Like they may not be able to work and function and get along with people at work, trying to take days off all the time. I'm sick, right? If I'm sick and injured, I can't work. National Library of Medicine is a reference I used here about a letter by T. Nettleson. It's called The Munchausen Spectrum, Borderline Character Features. He has views on Munchausen as a subgroup of BPD character. Interesting. Frequency of, and he talks about the frequency of the consciousness, unconsciousness. How aware are they? Is this delusion? Is this manipulation? Right? The hysteria and malingering. Is it hysterical? Is it malingering? And then two typical types would be career nurses and then the hospital visitors, in and out of hospitals. Occasional adventures, right, is what he's saying, or it's the center of a person's life. That would be the spectrum, right? So I had the fortunate, I was fortunate to know both totally on either end of the spectrum. Incredible. I knew someone that definitely had a personality disorder. And another thing is, it's not just borderline. I've noticed this in all cluster B personality disorders. And I've known people, like I said, with Munchausen, it's obvious that everything they're just saying is what they do and they have. And they may have narcissistic personality disorder or narcissistic traits. They may have borderline personality disorder or borderline traits. They also may have histrionic personality disorder or histrionic traits. And that's common when you have a personality disorder. There's lots of overlap in traits. So when someone has a cluster B personality disorder, they'll have many other traits of the other disorders in the cluster B and the other 9 personality disorders. So I knew someone that was a nurse. Pretty interesting. And they lost their job by stealing patients' morphine and injecting it into themselves, got hepatitis, spread it to other patients, and got fired. Now they just isolate, talk crap about their family all the time. but they used fake crying to get what they wanted. Whoa! The second you call them out on something, or all the attention is on you, and how bad you're feeling and stuff like this. What about my feelings? Whoa! And you're like, whoa. And they sit there and fake cry, because how do we know fake crying? No tears. No tears. If you're so upset that you're going to cry but you don't have tears, what's wrong? You're not that upset. But they'll use this kind of manipulation on this spectrum for sure. I mean, fake injuries. So it's not all their life at all, and they're not in and out of hospitals. This is the subtle spectrum, right? Fake injuries. I was watching them. This was years ago. I was watching them, and a little half a package of turkey. The turkey package is like this, only half of it. When it falls, it goes like this because it's so light. Yeah, they opened a refrigerator, that came out and fell next to their foot, and they, oh. Or they'll continue injuries. They'll fake continued injuries. Like they said their leg hurt. You didn't see them do it, but one day, okay, they injured their leg, not in front of you. And then the leg hurt for months. And it was convenient, at convenient times. You wouldn't have to go walk somewhere, And obviously, if you had an injured leg, it's going to hurt. And you can't, what are you going to do to people like this? What are you going to say? No, it doesn't. You're faking it. Suicide claims, suicide thoughts, suicide feelings. Could use it against you to get what they want. Sympathy, empathy. Total victim all the time. Everyone's screwed them over. Everyone's abused them. Blah, 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 blah. Massive isolation, delusional. Then I knew the other spectrum, where it was their entire life, their entire identity. All that mattered was their diseases, their medical complications, and social media might have bandages on their face for years. Like, it never got better. You don't have a more recent photo. You have to put that photo of yourself. What would be the point of having your face on a social media photo, right? But you can't see your face because it's covered in bandages. Why would you? I'm not saying you should be ashamed or hide it. It's just a weird option because it is a choice. So that's what you choose to do. Seems completely borderline, BPD. Claims that family is stalking them, totally isolate from their family, can't have family around. They claim they can't even talk because of their medical conditions, a total way to manipulate and isolate more. It's all they talk about. It's all they talk about. It's all they know. It's always the medical stuff. Oh, my friends are tired of hearing about it all the time. They just don't understand. Delusional, massive isolation, and both will turn on you massively. Isolation, fear of abandonment, delusional, gullible, totally gullible, and so unstable. They'll be your partner one day and turn on you the next. You're horrible, awful, black and white thinking, projection, smearing, false accusations, false allegations. Someone who's lying about their medical stuff and medical condition and faking stuff and fake crying and all this stuff. How could you think that they would not do that to you? To start accusing you of something. These people will accuse other people of many things, of many bad things. And then it just turns on you, anyone that does that. And depressed. And bad sleep routines. Like they're talking about fictitious disorder, having bad sleep or just bad daily routines. Sleep is the biggest one I've noticed. These people will stay up all night and sleep all day, stuff like that, total depression. I think the important part to remember is this is victimhood, okay? And when we have people that are victimized, people that live in victimhood, we're victimized. I think everyone has been victimized in their life. And so we're only victims while we're being victimized, right? But these people will be victims for years and victims over every little thing. And these people are so unstable, they're dangerous. They can be extremely dangerous. People that can manipulate doctors, lawyers, police officers. Dangerous. And typically more females, which are more socially dangerous, verbally dangerous from the beginning. I hope I helped you understand, George, and all of you guys out there watching. Please let me know and ask questions. Please ask me anything you want. And let me know, if you can, some of your experiences. Please, they're great. you guys' comments and experiences that you share really make the videos. I appreciate that. So people watching, go down and read the comments and add one of your own. And again, up or down is the only way these videos continue. Anybody that wants coaching, you can find me at daviddemars.com. Love yourself first. I'll see you guys later. Bye.